what do you think of when you hear someone say, stun the ball? If you're anything like me when I first started, your mind goes straight to, oh, just put a tip below center and give it a nice little pop. Boy, let me tell you, the new me would smack the old me in the face just for thinking that. In this video, my coach Demetrius and I are gonna crack open what stun actually means and why understanding cue ball phases gives you way more control than you thought you had with the cue ball. And we do that by giving you 3 stun shots that you need to get shape. And we also have a challenge drill for you guys to help you refine these shots. This is one of those concepts that once it clicks, your stun control goes from a liability to an asset. Let's go.
All right, now it's getting really exciting. This is near and dear to my heart. We are going to talk about how to use the knowledge of cue ball phases to control speed on stun shots. I got a challenge at the end of this for you guys, but before you go to the right, I'm going to walk you through what I call the 3 different stop shots that you need to know. So Nate, when I want you to try for the cue ball to stop, it means that if the effective spin has to be a perfect slide. However, there's different tip and speed combinations that we can use to maintain a slide. If you use near center and shoot firm, he can use just a little bit low and use enough power that the table doesn't have time to develop it past a slide. So Nate, go ahead, go like a quarter to a half tip low. You're trying to drive the 9, 1, 2, 3 rails and out and stop. 3 rails and out with a stop shot. No problem, no problem. Pretty good, pretty good. 3 rails and out. Yes, the cue ball may have rocked back a little. Now, nothing to it. That's the pro side. Okay, now I'm going to have him go medium low. So now he's actually going to start the cue ball with some draw. And then if he hits it softer, the table will have time to wear the draw off to a slide. And then because he's using less power, the 9 won't travel this far. So Nate, the speed we're looking for now is 1, 2 to the middle. 1, 2 to the middle. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, you couldn't hit that better. I couldn't have hit that any better. Okay.
Y'all don't know how good this guy plays.
So now, the first one I called a snap stop. That one I called a float stop. Now, I want you to hit the flick stop, where you're going to draw maximum draw, maximum draw, maximum draw, and then just kind of flick it over. You're going to hit it soft enough that all of the draw wears off now. The more backspin you use, the softer you can float your stop shot. Oh my goodness, he hit that good. And notice the difference in how far the 9 ball goes. Now, I know what you're thinking, why does that matter? If you're going to shoot a stop shot, you can pick whatever speed you want. And that's true. However, there are some advantages to being able to dig with the different speeds. And that comes when you have an angle. These types of hits will determine how far your cue ball moves on a stun shot.
Okay, hold on. I need to pause right here because what you guys just watched is one of the most misunderstood ideas in all of pool. You just watched 3 stop shots, firm, medium, and soft. Demi likes to call them snap, float, and flick. Look, you can call them whatever you want, knife, fork, spoon, or the 3 little pigs, I don't care. And there are a million in-between tip and speed combinations, so I'm not trying to firmly categorize this or make it a semantics argument. That's not what this is about. But here's the part that you need to lock onto. A stop shot is a type of stun shot. Stun is the umbrella. Stop is one specific outcome underneath it. And here's what a lot of us get wrong. We hear stun and we immediately think tip low center, firm hit, pop that stroke. I mean, yeah, that's one way to stun the ball, but for some reason, it has become the default type of hit that pool players around the world associate with stunning the ball. And that assumption cuts off so many options for cue ball speed control without even knowing it. So let me say this clearly. Stunning the ball has nothing to do with where you strike the cue ball. It has everything to do with the cue ball sliding at the moment it contacts the object ball. And that is the definition of stun. It is not about tip position, it is about cue ball behavior. So on a full ball hit, yes, it becomes a stop shot. The cue ball stops because the energy transfers into the object ball and there's no residual energy left in the cue ball. But the second you have an angle, that same sliding cue ball has residual energy left over and the energy carries it down the tangent line. And how far the cue ball travels comes down to 2 things, the angle of contact and how much speed the cue ball has going into contact. Okay, PSA over.
All right, before I have him try the drill, I'm going to show 3 stun speeds that we have to choose from. So A stun shot is, of course, a sliding ball with an angle, and the cue ball moves down the tangent line. Are you thick or thin on the thick? Okay, so we need to play shape for the A. So do you have to hit this firm, medium, or soft?
Firm.
So if you're hitting firm, the table influence is going to do very minimal. So this is the snap stop, where he's going to be shooting to the ghost ball with the same technique, which is only a quarter tip low and a nice, good timing. That's perfect right there. Now, that's not easy because he was very full. This is a better angle. This is a medium angle. If he hit the same speed as the last shot, the same way, the cue ball would travel to the end rail and all the way back up table. You have to hit this about, what, half the speed?
Yeah.
You're going to go lower, and this is more the float stop. Now he's got to use the float stop. Do one more, that's okay. But you dig just a little lower. You don't want to lose the cue ball on this one. You want it to float down to the end rail. Really nice, really nice. Now we've got a problem. We're very thin on the ball. Most people that shoot this type of shot, they're going to hit it, and it's going to be hit so hard, they're going to fly off the end rail. They're not going to get shaped. You have to hit this ball soft enough to hold it, but you still need it sliding so it doesn't hit the two. Solution is the flick stop. This is where you dip maximum low and just flick it to a slide. I mean, unbelievable shot. As promised, here's the challenge drill. This, I would encourage you to not try this until you've worked on first your stock shot speed control and you understand the float stun, the float stop, the snap stop, and the flick stop. Once you get comfortable with those different hits and you've practiced it a little, you can try this drill. Nate, I'm going to have you shoot the 3-ball and stun the cue ball. So try to pick up one of the angles that you had in that last little exercise. And then when you shoot the 2, of course, in a game, you get followed to the side rail for shape, but this isn't a game, it's stun control practice. I want you to stun over, pick up an angle on the 2, eyeball the angle you have and tell me, is it a flick stun, a float stun, or a snap stun? Now, I forgot to mention that this zone that we're trying to hit, it is a half diamond on each side. Here's the first diamond, go a half diamond this way, a half diamond this way, and a half diamond out. That is the target we're trying to hit. And edge of the ball is okay. If the cue ball stops there, as long as it's touching that zone, we're good. Now, Nate, look at your angle. Do you have to hit that firm, medium, or soft?
Medium.
So is that a snap stun, a float stun, or a flick stun?
Float.
Yeah. What a mace drill. I mean, could you get used to playing with position like that?
Whoa. Now to get firm stun. There you go.
Now he got a little thick, so now he's going to have to increase the power, which means the table influence will not wear off the backspin. We got to bring the tip up near center and snap stun. Let's just run that back. When people use the snap stun, if you cue what I call your default tip position, when people think about a stop shot, they typically go like a tip low and pop it in. Whenever I use the snap stun, in my mind, I can't go to where I like to. I have to actually raise my tip up a little bit closer to center than I default. I like that. There. Nice shot. Nice shot. It came back. You can still see it came back a hair, but you know, if this is bad, I'll take pills that keep me bad.
So let's bring this home now. Cue ball phases gives you the framework of how the table friction develops the cue ball into a natural roll. But that sliding phase of the cue ball, that is stun. Once you understand that stunning the cue ball is about sliding at impact and not about a specific cue tip position, you unlock ways to control the cue ball with speed towards a target. If you want to know the difference between how a pro stuns the cue ball and then how you stun the cue ball, just look at the speed they play various stun shots. They have so many more tools in their drawers, they can just pull the right one out when they need it for the angle in front of them. If you made it this far in the video, go ahead and comment plum shape, just so I know who the real ones are. If you guys want to keep working on this stuff with Demetrius directly, just go to the Slate Billiard Club Patreon. It's $20 a month, and it has been a game changer for so many of the members, including me. So check the link or just scan the code. Be sure to check out my other affiliate links too. I got discount codes if you want to try them. If something in this video clicked for you, go ahead and hit subscribe. It is an easy, free way to help me make more of these videos. And I got some really exciting things happening in the next few weeks. I cannot wait to show you, but you got to stay tuned. Till then, happy shooting.